Internet.
Good evening, Internet, or good afternoon, or wherever you are.
I know it's the Internet, so it could be anywhere.
That's right. Welcome to Shit Show.
Welcome to the ongoing shit show.
The ongoing shit show. That's right. We're taking a quick pause within the shit show to create a shit show within a shit show.
It's just a Russian nesting doll of shit shows.
Shit shows. If you don't know us, this is Emily Flake. I'm not Emily Flake. This is Emily Flake. This is, we usually do this on stage, and I always point to her beside me on stage and say, this is Emily Flake. So I'm doing this through my gallery view.
And that is Ophira Eisenberg.
Yes. Hi.
Hi. How are you? I miss you.
I miss you too.
Yeah.
And we all talk to each other in these strange circumstances. And yeah, this is weird having zero separation from my family.
Yeah, that has been that's been a real thing. I didn't think that it would be, but it turns out it really truly is. John and I always work from home, so that hasn't been that much of a shift.
Right.
But we usually, first of all, see other human beings. Second of all, do not have to homeschool. So that's a couple wrinkles right there. I feel like I should preface all this by saying, like, we are very lucky and that we are both still working. So knock fucking wood for that.
Course. No, let's just do a kind of disclaimer. Both of us are not ill.
Right.
What we have asked to do on the show is good health. And to my knowledge, their loved ones are in good health. So anything that we are joking about comes from a place that we understand we are super lucky.
Yes. So far.
So far. Yeah, right. Ah!
You know, I feel like the last live shit show we did was right after the holidays. And I believe I said at that show that it felt like weird. I was like, I have this weird feeling that these holidays were the last holidays.
You did say that.
Yeah. I did not mean to speak this pandemic into existence, but if I did, I am very sorry.
You know, I took some photos of myself on a Delta flight in November with a face mask on because I was like, not getting the flu this year.
But you were a real early adopter. You're very fashion forward.
I mean, you know, now it's mandatory. I mean, I think I got a thing from like a Gap about, you know, buy 10 of our fabulous fashionable face masks.
They're very like tasteful pastels.
That's right.
And like a kicky print in there somewhere just to jazz it up a little bit.
They're cozy. They're cozy.
They have a button for some reason.
So a pocket. They have a pocket.
Yeah.
I don't know what you put in there. Xanax. I have a 4-year-old son named Lucas, and he, of course, we're like, I guess you have to wear a face covering. So we got him like just a little material one. And you know, of course, as a 4-year-old, they love it.
Right.
Because it's like a superhero costume. But then, you know, we were just going to, I'm not taking him to a supermarket or anything, but we were going just for a walk and he wanted to wear the face mask. And I was like, absolutely, sure. And then after the walk, I took it off and it was just full of snot.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they're like, humans are disgusting, but the little ones are the most disgusting.
I'm like, maybe you should be wearing this all the time.
I made Tug a face mask by just taking a pair of her old like bike shorts and just cutting off the leg and pulling it over her head and calling it a day.
That's brilliant.
It's the most jerry-rigged bullshit. Like
it's like you did a tube top of a face mask.
Yes, that is exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I also caved and got an iPad for her to use because, you know, she's doing remote school and she was on my like extremely old, very dying laptop. And I was like, you know, like maybe if I get this iPad, this can be like her device throughout the next few years of school, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm like, listen, I don't want you on this thing all the time. I don't want you just like, you know, living on a device. And she looked at me and she called me a hypocrite.
And
she's
you were like,
7.
That's a great word for a 7-year-old.
I don't know whether to be proud or really mad because she used it correctly and she's right.
Yeah.
But also, how dare you?
Yeah, that's wow. And you were like,
Yeah.
and you're right, and I have nothing.
Yeah.
So my 4-year-old boy, he's always he knows more than me. Like already right now, he knows more than me. So I was putting a Band-Aid on him, a Band-Aid, of course, because that's, and he was like, no, that's not how you do it. And I said, and he's telling me, he goes, I know how to do Band-Aids. You don't know how to do them. And I said to him, how old are you? And he goes, 4. And I go, and how old am I? And he goes, 23. And I was like, that's right.
Yes. Yes, I am.
You put on that Band-Aid.
Yeah.
But then I
Put on
realized,
all the band-aids you want.
but then again, I was like, oh my God, in 23 in 4-year-old years is like 70. Like I think he
Yeah.
said I was 70.
Yeah. Their
Uh,
understanding of numbers is like kid, old.
yeah, right, exactly. He just looked at like that fear in his eyes. He was trying to think of the biggest number he could think of.
Right.
23? Jesus, thanks.
Yeah.
So we have a few guests. We have, and this is great because, when we do shit show normally, we are doing stand up and people telling jokes. And also because obviously, Emily, because you are a illustrator and write comics, you are able to display them on screen, but we can only use people who are available in Brooklyn.
Mhm.
The world has opened up.
It's true. We have an entire planet of beleaguered parents from which to draw. If there's any silver lining.
That's right. So we have 3 guests that we're going to talk to them about how they're doing as parents while everybody else is taking Shakespeare courses online, learning Mandarin, and picking up an instrument. The rest of us, I believe, are just trying to get through hour by hour.
Yeah. Yeah. I see people really doing a lot of self-improvement, and I don't want to be like, I don't wish I was, I don't wish that I didn't have I'm like trying to say this in a way where I
I
won't
know.
get cursed
I know.
and have my family taken from me. But I'm like, what if I just was, what if I had literally nothing else to do, except, you know, work and worry. Maybe I may, but like, to be perfectly honest, I think we all know I would just be like a sack of sadness and sugar by now, like more so than I already am. I don't know. Every time I think like, oh, if I didn't have to do X, Y, and Z, I would be amazing. It's not at all true.
Oh, I mean, that makes me think of 2 things. One is I used to always say I didn't have time to go to the gym. And then
Mm,
I had a kid and I was like, oh, I just didn't want to go to the gym.
yeah.
And I was complaining to someone that I respect and admire and saying to them that I feel this pressure to like get things done and that it's not happening for
Mhm.
me. All my friends are writing and doing all these amazing things, and I just can't, like, it's just so taxing with trying to be a parent and do anything. And they said, Ophira, it's not an artist retreat, it's a pandemic.
Wow.
So,
That is a really excellent point. Like,
so
truth is there.
thank you. So on
That
that,
said, I do think that everybody who is like working through this pandemic who does not have children should, when this starts to be over, take our kids for at least a week just so we can
yeah,
like play catch up, and it can lower even the playing field a little bit.
that's right. And we can
Yeah.
go on a really long walk because I don't think
Exactly.
anyone will be traveling. So, but we'll
Yeah.
go on a really long walk.
Yeah. That's
Wait,
my vision for an equitable society.
let's bring on our guest.
Yes.
Let's bring on our first guest. She's amazing. She is a mother. I don't know where she is right now, so we'll get on that.
Yeah.
And she is also the co-host of Ophira and Adira. This is Adira Amram.
Yay! What's up,
Hi.
Sparkles?
Hi, guys. Hi.
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 I know it's amazing how you can disappear into the sparkles. That's
Yeah, this is the alternate universe behind me.
So, Adira, you moved to space for the pandemic. That was really
I-
smart.
Yeah, I did. I thought that would be kind of a pro move. There's pros and cons, obviously. It is cold.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's great.
Very quiet, very cold.
But may I ask, if you don't mind revealing, are you in New York right now?
I am not in New York City right now. I was this morning. It's
Well,
been-
you're going from place to place.
I'm going from place to place, which
How is that? What's it like?
You're
I
driving.
tell you, not great.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's not been that chill.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably the opposite of chill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be an opposite of chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah. So I'm upstate right now. And I'm going back and forth, which I think probably people aren't going to like on the internet about
Fuck
that.
'em.
But
Sorry, internet, but fuck them.
I'm upstate as well, and two guys in a pickup truck drove by us, and we have a car that has Connecticut plates. Doesn't make any sense. I realize that, but they, I guess, seeing the plates and maybe the car, they just yelled, "Go home." And my husband was really affected by it. He was like, "Oh my God." And I was like, no, 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 no. Those guys, they've been saying that for years. They
yeah,
say that year round. They say that to everybody. It's like,
Yeah.
go back to Mexico, go back to, like, they say that all the time.
Right.
It's like, if they
Yeah.
found out we were Jews, we would get that too.
Yeah.
yeah, it's been weird though, because I think when we are upstate to be near my family, my mom and my dad, to kind of make sure everybody's okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm going back to the city for work and also to, just do normal things like get my mail and things like that. And my husband's business is still in New York, so he has to go back. And it's been definitely not hilarious.
Yeah.
And very stressful, but I'm trying to like you said earlier, I'm trying to be like, you know what, it could be so much worse. And I'm saying like very scary things to my kid about it.
Mm.
Okay, first of all,
Which are like,
how old is your son?
he's 6.
6. Oliver.
He's so cool.
And what are you saying?
No, I mean, like when we were eating dinner tonight, I was like, you don't want to eat your chicken soup? There are people that can't see their parents right now because they're in the hospital, like psychotic, damaging things.
No, I'm 100% doing
It's so
COVID threatening.
bad.
Like, I know, but it's so hard not to, because like they'll whine about something and you're like, you have no idea. You
Yeah.
have no idea.
I'm like, you have a house.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, like, Lucas
I
didn't
fed you today.
some scrambled eggs, and right now eggs are a whole thing. Eggs are a whole thing. Not only are they $9 a carton, but you're only allowed to buy one, right? I don't know if that's.
I have not seen.
I don't know.
Is egg rationing happening now?
Oh yeah, eggs. Yeah.
Jesus. Man. Well, I
Yeah.
guess I'm glad I hoarded some by accident. I keep buying eggs and forgetting that I have a lot of eggs, is what I'm saying.
Don't brag about that. Do you want to get broken into?
No.
They're like, that Flake lady.
Yeah, she's
got
got
eggs.
eggs.
Got eggs.
Yeah.
I knew it. But yeah, he didn't eat his scrambled eggs. He didn't like them because they looked too yellow.
God, Mom.
Mm.
And I was like, I sounded like my mother. I sounded like my mother, who in some ways was, she was a young girl in the Depression. So she had a lot of these like ready to roll.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I was thinking about, like, your mom was from Holland. I'm thinking like my husband's family is Dutch, and I'm like, your parents live like it's COVID all the time. Like they don't waste anything.
Right.
They're super resourceful. They walk everywhere. Like they're really clean.
Right.
I'm like,
and there's no frivolous.
No. They're like, I'm like, man, they were like made for this kind of pandemic. Because I keep thinking, like, what would my mother-in-law do?
What would the Dutch do?
Yeah. Because I was listening to somebody on the radio today being like, yeah, it's like we really had to cut back. It's like we're using every part of the carrot. Like now we're using every part of it. And I'm like,
usually I just take one bite of it and I throw the rest away. But now I'm using that.
Yeah, just the tip. I really just like the tip.
That's what's really shocking to me right now too, is the things that people are like, oh, I do have to give some things up. And you're like, oh, okay. What are the things that are so hard for you to give up? You're like, I guess I'll give up my Birchbox.
Oh, but I'm sure some of those things are thriving. I mean, like whoever needed a subscription to perfume or whatever half of those things are. Like, who is that for? The scent one. I was like, what crazy woman is this that I've never met?
I can't believe I didn't invest in some kind of like online education company when this whole thing started.
Oh my
Because
God.
like every third ad in my feed is like, here is a class to occupy and possibly teach your child something. And half of them like, oh, I mean, that's $5. That's $5 well spent. But I mean, like, and I'm just saying, somebody's making out in this.
Oh
thing.
yeah. I mean, who would have thought that the like FDLS Mormons were
Mormons?
like ahead of the curve on like, I'm like, what are you guys doing? How do you guys do that homeschool situation?
Oh yeah, I know. I really do feel like every homeschooler who has been mocked for years by, I'm sure many people around them right now is being like, yeah, I told you, like just
Yeah.
Totally.
indignant. And you
The
know,
whole, yeah.
I can make the hair happen, right?
ooh,
Now all I
Cute.
need is the long skirt
yeah,
and the
pretty good.
rifle, and I'm pretty good.
Yeah, you're ready to roll. You can fit
Yeah.
in.
I also found out during this pandemic, I'm a terrible first grade teacher.
Oh God.
I
Yeah.
can't even imagine.
I realized the way it went, a technique I have, which maybe you guys may want to use when you're homeschooling your children, is when you get really frustrated with them, you just go like this. No, it's fine.
It's very effective.
Yeah.
How does he have a lot of work? Because like they send some stuff and then my kid's done in like 45 minutes and it feels like, and not like I want her to be like doing schoolwork for 6 hours because that means I'm helping her for 6 hours. But like, I don't know, what is the process with your school like?
It's definitely not. It's probably about 2 or 3 hours worth of work, but also he's learning to read. He
Nice.
can't read yet, so
Right.
he's learning to read.
That's a whole
So
Right.
and I'm also like, am I teaching how to read right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's learning to read. So a lot of the stuff, he can't do any of it on his own. And he
Right.
also can't do, we don't have a device. So
Right.
we're using this is how we're doing. This is crazy. This is the crazy thing. I log on to my old 2012 laptop, log onto my laptop to the Google Classroom, open it up, print things out. Then once we're done with it, I take pictures on my cell phone, email them to his email address,
Yeah.
and then upload them. Like it's
madness.
most bonkers system, but I can't figure out any other way to do it.
Yeah, no, that is exactly why I caved and got the iPad.
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah, it's a
I don't feel great about it.
No, it's fine. I mean,
yeah,
I'm worried for how the kids are gonna be after this. I think
they'll be fine. They're so
Yeah.
resilient.
they really will. I feel like,
I-
I feel like there's a whole spectrum of how kids are dealing with, not only like the loss of school, but for so many people, school is more than just school. It's where they eat or it's where they're safe and all this other. So it's such like schools not being open is such a clusterfuck of like massive proportions. Like I'm saying that like you don't know that internet. Like
But yeah, no, Lucas, I mean, again, it's just preschool. So it's like, I don't expect much going on there, but they were like, all right, your homework assignment. I was like, don't do this.
yeah.
Don't do this. And they were like, they have to draw a picture of gratitude of like, they meant like draw a picture for first responders or people in the medical
Right.
field. But Lucas was like, I want to draw a picture of a mailman. And I was like, okay, but it's a male person.
Right.
And he was like, nope, mine's a mailman. And I was like, well, some women also do, work for the postal service. And he was like, mine's still a mailman. And I was like, do whatever you want.
Right. Just
And he was like, how do I write thank you? I was like, find it in a book. Like, I was just like, I'm done with your project.
No.
Okay, your thank you gratitude project.
yeah, I found myself like literally using the phrase, "You're so smart, you do it."
Exactly. That's what they're going to remember.
Yeah.
And also, we do this song because his hair is getting long, and every time I look at it, I go, your hair is getting really long, and I go, soon it's gonna be time for mommy haircut. Do this horror dance where we go, mommy haircut, mommy haircut.
You're gonna have to post some pictures when mommy haircut actually happens.
I've never cut hair before. I'm real excited to have a mom.
Oh, he has perfect hair texture for cutting hair because there's a little bit of a wave in there.
It is still fine-ish baby.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with it.
I think so. Thanks.
No, you can't go wrong with it.
Are you guys cutting your kids' hair?
No, I'm just he's having the COVID grow out.
Tug's only had
Me
like
too. Look at how long this is.
Long, yeah.
Wow.
It's getting there. We'll see.
This is
Soon,
nice and dry.
Soon there'll be no bangs, people. I'm just gonna grow.
There's no conditioning in the pandemic.
No, I like it dry.
I like it nice and dry. Everywhere dry.
Yeah, Oliver told me the other day, he was like, Mommy, you need to manage your emotions better.
Oh my God.
So very advanced.
And I was like, has he been doing shadow self-work on him?
No.
Did you call him a hypocrite? Did you know, like
Yeah.
Get Tug and him on the same Zoom. They can talk.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's some New York City kid style where they're
right.
just like
So advanced.
they're like, I'm seeing stuff on the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, I saw more in one subway ride, right? That's what you said before, that they just see more in one subway ride.
Did I say that?
I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
Someone smart like you.
Not me.
No. But they do.
Oh.
All right, Adira, we're going to send you back into the sequin space. The galaxy.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
Thank you for coming. It's so good to see your face.
Miss you guys.
As they say, stay strong, stay safe.
And guys, stay blessed.
Stay blessed.
Hashtag.
I'll try.
Stay blessed.
Bye, guys. Love you guys.
All right. Our next guest is a Baltimore, DC area comic. She is extremely funny. She is also my own personal cousin. Please welcome to the grid, Robin Hazel.
Yay! Hey,
Hi.
Robin.
Hi.
Hey, you guys. How are ya?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm actually doing super awesome. Yeah, I'm
Nice.
kind of actually enjoying this pandemic a little bit.
So
Guiltily.
because
Okay, tell us,
you
tell us.
already homeschooled, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Look at that. Look at
You
the
you now have to be sort of the font of knowledge here. Like
Yeah, tell us. Be smug. Come on.
Help.
Give it to us. Give it to us.
Y'all, I'm having the time of my motherfucking life. You were talking about egg rationing. Listen, you guys were talking about egg rationing. My fiance has a hookup on eggs. We have someone who has their own chickens who wants to undercut the supermarkets. I have like 6 or 7 packs of eggs. It's dumb. I don't know what any of your city people's struggles are like, and it's glorious.
My next question is, do you have extra room for us? We will be very quiet.
I do. Listen, no, like it's beautiful because like, so I do let my daughter go to pre-K for like 3 hours a day, but now I don't even have to like get dressed and undressed for that shit. But like we have the little neighborhood babies for her to play with, so I don't have to go anywhere and she stays within eyesight. And like, I don't have to be very paranoid because I can watch the comings and goings of my neighbors, and I can stay personally sanitary because I never go outside. Well, I go outside once a week to go to the dispensary, but like I have to get my medicine.
Yeah.
You know?
Wait a second.
But like
You're
it's
letting your kids.
this is a great time. What'd you say?
You're letting your kid play with other kids?
So I have watched the neighborhood babies. I've become like that person that spies on everyone from their window. Like it's a real like non-lethal real window situation where I know about all my fucking neighbors. The kids don't go anywhere. One of my daughter's classmates' moms is pregnant. She's staying in the house too. What extra germs are we gonna get? Nobody goes anywhere. Like I chose the people that I live near, and I choose the children that get to touch my babies. and everyone gets hosed down when they come in the house. Like we're not gonna get it in here.
You
Right.
got like an airlock situation, right?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my God. The children, like both of my children know how to count to 20 specifically. They know mommy's temperature of like close but not scalding hot water that you gotta do it under.
That's how I like
And then
it.
they know they can touch me after that. Cause like,
Okay.
but like, yeah, cause I can't, my thing is like, wash your hands, stay home, and otherwise give it up to God. Like, and then I wake and bake, and then everything is okay. Cause like I can't not let them live. Like I don't want them to be like, oh my God, we're in a fucking pandemic. Cause I can go totally into like that paranoia and be like, listen, everybody else in the world is sick. And they all have germs, and you just don't want to touch them because you don't want to get sick and die. Like when I watched Contagion,
Right.
that stuck with me. That stuck with me.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
know.
got the OCD
So-
to be thinking about that, so we're fine.
That
It had
movie
a
really
happy
prepped us
ending.
to hear words like "are not." Like,
Oh my God.
Am I right in remembering that Contagion has a happy ending?
it's happy-ish. I think
No.
no, but it wanes. Not everybody dies, and things come back to a semblance of normal, but everybody is sort of irreversibly changed. Much like,
So-
honestly, what's probably going to happen here.
You guys don't remember that one scene where like the one village thought that they were getting the vaccine, but they were getting like a placebo? Contagion was not.
Oh.
And then there's that run woman, and she's like running.
I have blocked this part of Contagion
Yeah,
out
I
for my
don't
own
remember
mental
this either.
health. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
You're welcome. Watch it again. No, listen,
No,
I
I'm good.
already
I'm good.
because this time I try not to call it like a pandemic or quarantine in the house.
Nice.
'Cause I don't like
Right.
letting those
fine.
vibes in.
Uh,
But this time is really like it's been good. The children helped me lose weight. I lost 20 pounds so far during
You're
this
losing
time
weight?
because the first couple of weeks I was baking everything for comfort, and then the children started asking me about the new baby, and I was like,
oh,
point taken, point taken. I got you, I
Right.
got you. So yeah, we're
you are you.
Oh, they're so sweet. They're so
You
sweet.
could run a clinic on how to like P word successfully.
I mean, you know what? It is so refreshing, Robin, to have someone that is living their best life right now.
Now.
having a good time.
Yeah.
Okay, so for all of us who are just like, you know, and I'm just on the younger end of dealing with school, but like grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, I mean, middle school, I think it's just a whole different ball game. But as someone who's good at this, give these people advice. How do you do it? How do you do it successfully?
Oh my
What are your
goodness.
expectations?
So, I mean, as far as the homeschooling with the children, it's really, I just kind of let them do what they want to do as people. I, as the adult person
All right,
who's
all
in
right.
charge.
Just stop there. You've got nothing to add. You've got nothing to add.
No,
think, well, step
no.
one-
Oh, no. Because listen, no. Because I'm also very, the OCD kicks in, and then I start freaking out about stuff. So there's restrictions, you know?
Okay.
I do have my rules and regulations about things that we can't do and things that we're not going to do.
Right.
And we have like hardwood floors, and all sound in the world disturbs me. So we're not doing everything here. But like, I let them kind of enjoy being little me's. They enjoy trying to do what I like to do, so I'll let them do things within reason, and I'll like warn and caution the crap out of them. My daughter made soup the other day. She wanted
Oh.
to make a soup, and it was actually fairly decent. It ended up being just a ramen noodle soup, but she chose her own spices beforehand, and it's just like, as long as I stay calm and don't freak the fuck out about everything, they'll be chill about stuff. And I
Right.
just like, sometimes if I feel bottled up, we're just gonna fucking dance. We have the Google Home now, and I just tell it to play a song, and we literally just shake it out. And like,
Right.
The children have good taste in music now, but it's really just like, okay, fuck, I gotta be here and I have to actually enjoy my time here. I might as well just do whatever I need to do, have a good time. And they're learning that way too. My daughter, she knows how to do 3/4 of a what the fuck ever because she's been adding it to the pancake mix or the Dutch baby mix because I made a Dutch baby this evening and it was beautiful and you guys didn't get to see it and it sucks for you. But like, just fucking like exist as human beings. If all we actually do end up get to fucking do during this pandemic is exist as human beings, like that's all they fucking need to learn and can learn, and that's how they learn the other stuff. It was like I was reading my kids, my daughter's little packet that the school had sent home when this first started, and they were listing all the things that you could do, and I'm like, this isn't even half of what I'm doing with my baby at home, just living with her. So it's just like, I'm not stressing anything. Everything is fucking stressful. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to exist and have a bowlerific time and soak in the knowledge you get from living and mommy reading books to you all the damn time.
That's true. We're doing a lot of reading. We're doing a lot of reading.
So you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Like high five on Zoom, like
bam, bam.
So, right. So just chill out. Who cares if they'd never learn about flipping fractions? Who cares if they never learn about, I don't know,
listen, I legit do not give a shit if she aces bird study or not. I just want her to be able to read. Like,
yeah, seriously. No, listen. So I really got interested in homeschooling. I had friends that I met when I was like my early 20s, and he came from like a homeschooling community, and he told me like the scariest fucking thing I had ever heard as somebody who was an education major. He told me he was homeschooled and he did not learn how to read until he was 10 years old. And I was like, what the fuck? But then he told me that when he did read, the first book that he read was the Chronicles of Narnia. So he jumped right in at the right point in time. And it wasn't like there weren't things for him to read around the house. You know, you got to read the grocery list and you got to read the instructions for the recipes and this, that, the other. That's the teaching and that's the learning. And if that's all you can do, if you're not doing something formal, your world is freaked the fuck out. Like fucking just live and go into detail with your little people about the shit that you have. I had to explain why you couldn't put X, Y, and Z thing in the microwave. And I was like, well, then Google what happens when you stick some metal in there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then, you see this YouTube video? Yeah, that's why you can't put a fork in the microwave.
Right.
I love you, and I know you think you know everything, but I don't want any of us to die, and I don't want Child Protective Services to come specifically to my house during the pandemic. So it's just like, we're living, we're kicking it, having a good time. No stress.
Robin, I think this is going to stand as the moment where your like parenting seminar / church career began. I'm very pleased to be an early adopter.
That would be awesome, and I welcome that.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being on the show. I love you and I miss you, and I can't wait to see your actual face.
I know, seriously, like, as soon as this happens, I'm going everywhere. I hope the ticket prices stay low for a little while because everybody's skeptical, so I can see everyone for cheap.
Exactly. Yes. Skepticism dollars.
We're all about that.
All right, we're gonna bounce to the next thing. Thank you so much. That was
so amazing. I did not expect that I was gonna get. I love Robin, but I did not expect that I was gonna get someone that's like, yeah, I'm doing it.
It's fucking awesome. I know. I'm cheered. I'm very cheered by this.
Okay. Our final guest, all the way on the other side of the country, coming to us from LA. She is the author of a hilarious book that one day when I see her in person, I will get her to sign my copy, called Dead People Suck. And she also is the co-host of the Jackie and Laurie Show, a fantastic podcast with Jackie Cation and this woman. Welcome, Laurie Kilmartin.
Hey!
Are you reading to your kid all the time? Are you reading to your kid?
No, I don't talk to my kid. I'm very comfortable in my room, and he does his thing, and we try not to cross paths.
That sounds ideal. How old is your son now?
He's 13.
13.
Oh,
Okay.
so you're not a parent anymore. You're just roommates.
I never have been. No, it's weird. They get a bunch of assignments. Every class gives assignments for the week, and they have till Friday to complete them. And so he's sort of like on his own. I said, this is kind of like what it would be like if you get into college. And so he's kind of liking it. It's weird. I don't know what his grades are yet, how they are panning out, but he's in a public school with like 35 kids per class, and this might actually be working better for him.
Right.
So,
Right. Because it's way
Do they
more
have individual
focused.
like FaceTimes with their teachers, or is it like a Zoom classroom thing?
no, it's not even that. It's just, here's your assignments and get going. They work on Google Classroom. Again, I haven't been allowed near him. He's also very much, I got it, Mom, I got it. So I can't really pay too much attention to how it's all executed.
Right.
He's had Zoom water polo workouts. Yeah, they just do like some dry land stuff, and then they analyze footage of other water polo games. But that's where the Zoom.
That is very that's very nouveau riche of you.
It's very California.
Yeah.
So who is in your
Private schools are doing real polo Zoom.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's all the cool.
They're on horses while they're holding their cameras.
Everyone get out in the field. So who is in your quarantine household?
My son, my mother, who's 82, and then we have a family member who was going to crash for a couple days, and then the pandemic hit and they couldn't leave, so they're in the garage. So it's there's a lot of people and there's not a ton of space, so we're all just sort of carving out little areas in a yard or on a porch where we can get away from each other.
Yeah. So
where does your garage family member usually live? This is such a that's such a fucked up story.
you're not the only person I know this is happening to, by the way.
Well, people are getting evicted from their places. I mean, in California, the rents are rising really high, so really quickly. So it was just sort of like an in-between. I was just going to cover a couple gap days while they found a new place, and then they lost their ability to make an income. So,
Oh my God.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
Well, my son, my son is another person I hang out with, which is great. And,
Right.
kind of offsets being with an 82-year-old and a 54-year-old mom.
Right.
I think it sucks just to be around adults all the time. If you're a 13-year-old, it's awful. So
I know. I mean, I have a 4-year-old. He hates being around adults all the time. He says
Yeah.
it to us all the time. He said to me today, "I don't care about you," and I was like, "I get it."
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, that's what I did say.
I wish I could do what Robin was doing. She
Oh my
must
God.
have a very tight community where they all sort of know each other. Once you get, it's in even a middle-sized city, it's probably not safe to be doing that. You just don't know where people have been.
I've wondered about that too, because we have upstairs neighbors that I like, and their son gets along really well with Tug. They're new. They just moved in right before everything really hit. And before it started really getting lockdowny, we were letting them play together, and then things started to seem really serious, and we haven't been letting them do it since. But it's also like they live, we're in the same building.
Yeah.
I think the only X factor is he goes back and forth to his mom's. So that's, he's less in the, but I'm like, I don't know. At this point, I kind of feel like, I think I'll be fine, but I don't know. I also know that I tend to be like, it'll be fine. And then everybody's covered in shit. So,
I would probably be a little looser, but my mom is old and she has respiratory problems. So she's like, she should be patient zero for COVID. So the fact that she hasn't got it so far is pretty.
No, that's good. No, I mean, you sort of see the upside to like bunker cultures, cults, insular, like all of these things that are very unappealing in the real world. Now you're like, well, that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Well, certain comedy communities are cults. So I'm always prone to the or attracted to the approval of terrible men. So definitely I should join it.
Yeah, you're prime. You're prime.
Yeah.
So
I feel like there's a lot of people apologizing to their like gun hoarding uncles right about now. You know, like I know we had that fight a few Thanksgivings back, but so you say you have rations for how many years?
They're not good tasting rations.
Right.
To be honest, I do have a gun hoarding uncle in Michigan who probably, if he could get out, would have been like one of those faces in that window in Ohio or something.
Fantastic.
So no, I don't forgive him. But
But yeah, you know that. So as someone who performs all the time, how are you dealing with the lack of performing?
well, it's part of it was like a relief to not always have to get up every night, because you definitely feel like I got to get up. I'll lose my comedy chops, and everyone else is performing all the time. So I'm going to move backwards if I don't get up tonight. So that's been sort of the pressure of my life for like 30 years, basically, is the stand up. So this is the first time I've had massive amounts of time off and not felt guilty because I can't really do anything about it.
Right.
I have had a couple Zoom shows that were really fun. Jackie and I had a show that had over 200 people attending, and we muted almost everybody. We had a few people unmuted for laughter, and it felt pretty close to a real comedy show in terms of just trying material and, getting people to laugh. So probably we'll be doing more of those.
Yeah, most of my shows with about 200 people, I would say 4 people laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, it is great for new material too.
Yeah,
right?
and just remembering old stuff. Like I don't want to forget stuff, or stuff that's like medium new, where you kind of have it in your brain, but not completely, and you don't want the subtleties to get lost as the months go on. But I don't know when we're going to be able to be in a comedy club again, because when people laugh, they have a spray that's pretty wide, according to what I've read, which is bad for the audience. It's terrible for the comedians because they're all these people are aiming it at you. So it's
problematic.
Worrisome.
The thing that makes a comedy club good is that everyone's crammed together. Anytime you're all spread apart, you're like, oh, this place sucks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, I've even seen my own spit come out of my mouth in the lights.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And you're just like, oh, that's gross.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I hope they didn't see that. Like I spent the next 4 jokes scanning their faces to see if they noticed that I spit on them. But it seems they didn't. We have a unique vantage point being on the stage, being able to see it come out when it's illuminated, but I don't think they can see it.
Carol Montgomery like went on a tear about like just dirty mics and she's like, why do you have a root like this is how you get sick. Oh, and
I didn't one day like hitting it. I was just gonna say, I remember like hitting the mic with my teeth by accident and just being like, I don't even know what to do right now.
Yeah. Well, listen, after this, we're all gonna
besides pulling out your teeth. I just won't have teeth if that's what's gonna happen.
Were you doing your Gigi Allen set?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Were you doing your Gigi Allen set? Just like
the last couple of shows I did at the Stand in New York, I brought foam, just foam covers to put on the mic, and then same at the Broadway too. I just would switch it out, but they were already switching out the mics.
They were getting on top of it. Yeah.
All the the next couple of days everything was closed down, but
Yep. No, I remember being on the last show at midnight as that text rolled in, and I was like, wow, this, like, I joked, ha ha ha, last show. This could be the last show, everybody. And then I got off stage and I was like, that was the last show. So
I know. And the thing is like, say the club's open and everyone's wearing masks. How are they going to drink and eat? And most comedy clubs, they make their money from booze sales, you know? So, I don't know. I don't
think they're going to open things at a point where people can be congregated and you still have to wear a mask. I feel like if we're still at mask, they're not going to open venues. I don't know. I am not a policymaker, but I feel like
well, what if you had a mask where built into it was a straw?
So a mask that didn't work.
Yeah.
where stuff could come out.
Right.
Maybe it has
Sure.
a top on it, and then you take off the top. If only, I don't know.
You know what?
working on it.
What is it? Necessities a mother of inventions.
Right.
Ophira. You
That's-
better trademark that immediately.
I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer.
Yeah.
So do you have to, well, like, what does your son think about a pandemic? Because he's like our kids young, like we're just sort of still telling them mild, almost like fairy tales. How they will remember it is going to be like, my parents were around and they were mean.
Right.
But you have a fully functioning person who, like, this is going to be a huge part of his memory.
I know. Right now he loves it because he doesn't have to go to school. He doesn't like school. And I think he likes the self-directedness of homeschool. Also, his 13-year-olds that age, they're highly aware of climate change. So this is like just another one, you know.
Right.
They've got so much on their shoulders.
Yeah.
Wow.
At the moment, you know, he seems pretty chill and happy, aside from not being able to hang out with his water polo team, you know,
Right.
work out.
In the actual pool.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he say to you, when are we going back to being able to do X, Y, or Z?
No, I think I think he's sort of aware of the news. He just got a Twitter account. So he's, you know, getting closer to adulthood and not needing my input whatsoever. He hears NPR, it's on all the time. So he's not asking me anything. I mean, when you're 13, you never ask your parents anything.
Right.
Besides, will you shut up and not knock on my door?
Yeah.
Is he still doing his YouTube show?
He makes videos. He moved over to TikTok. So he does a lot of TikTok
he did.
stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
He does a lot of
sounded
TikTok
old.
work.
Right.
That's like yeah. Okay, very good. That's excellent. So for everybody who is dealing with, like, you know, a teenage kid out there and is trying to figure out how to stay sane and not feel bad about, like, is this going to affect their chances to get into college? You know,
Yeah.
can you?
I don't know. I mean, all kids are going to be affected, you know.
Yeah.
So you're all being held back a month and a half or 2
Yeah.
months. So I guess that's the only, you know, who knows college. I mean,
I feel like if you know, if nothing else, I'm hoping this puts a little bit more of the sense of none of this fucking matters into
Right.
people, you know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, right.
There's no atheists in foxholes, but there's hella nihilists in a quarantine. So
yeah, I mean, just to go off into, I mean, we also don't know how bad the economy is going to be. Like,
No.
we're reading about it and it's starting to seem shitty, but it's going to get, I think, horrific. And then that's going to affect a lot of people we all know, if not ourselves as well. And, you know, maybe college debt will be gone. Maybe this is when the government goes, oh, all right, you know, or
Right.
maybe we vote in the people that do that.
right.
And yeah, but they're right now, as is, teenagers are walking into a really horrible future. So
Yeah.
hopefully, I don't know. I'm usually funnier, guys.
No, I mean, like, but it's true. You know, I was actually thinking the thing that you just said, because if my nephews are your son's age and older, and yeah, they are sort of like nonplussed because they're just like climate disaster,
School shootings.
Yeah.
They're just sort of like, yeah, and they also are just like, can I always go to school like this?
Yeah.
much
Oh,
better.
and the really great thing is the amount of sleep he's getting. Like,
Right.
the school starts way too early. You know, it should start at 10 a.m. as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So these kids can get like the 8 or 9 or 10 hours that they need.
Yeah.
You know,
Freelancer hour school would be amazing. Like, that's kind of what we're doing now, and it's
Yeah.
great.
It's
Yeah.
so funny because on some level it's going to be like, you know, like parents, like some of us are going to emerge from this just so distraught, being like, please just bring back school and a babysitter every now and then. And then other people are coming at it, and all like 13 to I think 17-year-old kids are basically going to look like healthy, well rested.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna have a real expansive view of the world.
Yeah.
Exactly. I learned stuff. I have self-growth. I started journaling.
Yeah. And also wondering, like, I never thought of homeschooling my kid because I'm not home. But, if he can kind of take it on his own and just get his Zoom assignments and then, on Monday and finish it by Friday, I don't know, maybe it's something to think about. Maybe, these 35 kid classrooms aren't good for everybody, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's like all the things we're learning, like, meetings could have been emails.
Yeah.
Maybe school for some people is just like, it is super independent.
Yeah.
And we got to pay everybody who we never thought about paying triple.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yes.
And live performance, who knows? Question mark.
Yes,
Right.
I'm tipping. I try to be a good tipper, and I'm tipping way above my normal tipping now.
Yeah.
With all food delivery and anything like that.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been seeing horror stories of people placing like Instacart orders and like putting a tip in that they then revoke when they get the order. And
Oh my
if
God.
you do that, you have to know you're going immediately to hell. Like I don't know.
Yeah, the family member that's crashing was doing Postmates, I guess, and it's they're telling me even now it's awful tipping.
Yeah.
People aren't tipping. No, they're not tipping extra. They're not tipping at all. So
Yeah.
If somehow you're watching this and you're a person who orders delivery and does not tip, end that practice immediately.
Terrible.
or end yourself, end your life.
Yes.
Because we don't need you.
Yeah.
You're not an essential tipper.
This is not-
You're not an essential person.
Essential
That can accommodate non-tippers.
can't be an essential worker, at least you can be a tipper. Okay.
Yes, for sure.
Thank you, Laurie, so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. This is so fun.
Thank you so
Timeline.
much.
And let's just quickly, let's wrap it up. Let's pretend we're all here doing a stage bow. Let's bring back
Yeah.
Robin. Let's bring back Adira. Look at us. Look at us, parents in the wild.
Yay. Look, I screenshotted it. I made a picture on the camera on the thing.
We're all learning technology. One day we won't even need our kids.
Yeah. Or our bodies.
Good point. Have a great night or afternoon, everybody.
Thank
Good
you
night.
so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Stay safe, you guys. Love you.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Yay!
Yay.
Thanks, guys. You were awesome.
That was so
Thank
fun.
you.
Yeah, that was fun.
so much fun. That was awesome.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.